Hey there, how's it going? I hope that you're enjoying a wonderful day. Thank you for taking the time to check out the Eyeshadow Junkie Tag. How fun is this? I mean, seriously, we watch beauty videos, we love our palettes, we love our single shadows. I'm thrilled to have been tagged by Anya Marie. I'm gonna link her channel in the description box below. And the original tag was created by 3 fantastic YouTubers. I watch all of them. They are Fancy That with Candace. You will now see her as Candace Nicole, then Julie Dawn Olson, and War Paint with Tara Michelle. So there are 10 questions. Let's go on and get into it. The first question is, what is your favorite drugstore line of eyeshadows? I have 3 that I continuously reach for. My first kind of go-to product that I pair in with my palettes are the L'Oreal Infallible shades. I love these because you get that high-end pigmentation with that drugstore price point. They're smooth, they're creamy, they're buttery. But also too, I like it because they're easy to just pull out of my makeup collection and pair in with my, high-end palettes. I also love Wet n Wild. I know a lot of people talked about their Comfort Zone palettes. This is highly popular, highly hyped up on YouTube. Why? It's good. It's great stuff and easy, easy on the budget, high quality pigmentation on your eyes. Go get yourself one. Also shades like Brulee, you can't go wrong with this. But one of the underdogs I wanted to talk about as far as drugstore eyeshadows, I love to reach for my Maybelline Eye Studio quads like this. I have quite a few of them. I don't necessarily talk about them on my channel because I've been doing Pan That palettes, but these are phenomenal to reach for when you need just 1 or 2 shades here and there, when you need to have some backup shades as you're panning your palettes, or if you want to do a complete look with just the Maybelline Eye Studio quads. I tend to not just do one complete look because a lot of times all 4 shades are completely shimmery. So I like to have matte options in, which means I'm automatically having to sub in matte shades from my palettes. But these are some underdogs that I really think don't get enough love anymore. I know Courtney K talked about it when she was painting her Copper Sheet quad, and I know Emily Noel talked about it quite a bit with her channel several years back, but it's not something you hear about much anymore. So what a sad thing, I guess. All right, question number 2 is your favorite drugstore primer. So disappointed that they are discontinuing it, but it is the Wet n Wild Fergie Take on the Day eyeshadow primer. If you have a chance, go to Walgreens, get a tube before they are completely gone. They are on par, in my opinion, with the Lorac Behind the Scenes Eye Primer. I don't have any issues with my eyeshadow creasing during the day or pilling up or fading. It's fabulous, fabulous stuff. I'm just so disappointed. Why do they have to do this? Like every time we find a product that is just phenomenal, it has to be discontinued, but say love you, right? You know what I mean? So, oh well, I guess I'll just have to use it and enjoy it, and then we'll find something else that's brilliant later on. You know what I mean? So, all right, question number 3 is your first ever eyeshadow purchase, and do you still wear it? My very first eyeshadow purchase? Oh, heck no. No. It was a really cheap purple eyeshadow that came in a container kind of like this. It was like a round pan that had a pop-up container. It was a really poorly made purple eyeshadow from Claire's. But my first ever eyeshadow purchase that I have continued to purchase over and over through the years is the Maybelline Eye Quad or Expert Wear eyeshadow quad in the shade Designer Chocolates. They have changed the formula of this through the years because the colors of this are not as intense as they used to be, especially of the pinker shade in this. It used to be a lot darker, more burgundy than it is now. It's more of a pink mauve, but it's still a great go-to quad if you don't want to have to put a lot of thought into your makeup, or if you just want an easy go-to eye that's going to match with the majority of your wardrobe. Like I said, I've continued to repurchase that for years. I started wearing it in high school, and it's still a staple in my collection if I just want to have something easy and not have to spend a lot of money. I even recommend this to people on a consistent basis that want to start off with drugstore makeup. And as my daughter grows up and wants to start wearing makeup, that's going to be something that I start her on, because it's easy. you know, beginner friendly, and it's also not going to be so dark that it's not appropriate for daily makeup wear. So, all right, then number 4, your best drugstore eyeshadow dupe. I have a couple. The ones that I've kind of seen mentioned are, you know, for MAC's Blue Brown Pigment, you pull out your Wet n Wild Comfort Zone palette and this shade in the corner. Also too, if you have the Maybelline Eye Studio Quad in Olive Martini, that shade also can dupe the Blue Brown Pigment from MAC. But I also wanted to talk about some different ones that weren't mentioned. Lip Gloss Leslie mentioned the L'Oreal Infallible shade in Amber Rush duping MAC Tan Pigment. That's, you know, highly popular if you want a drugstore alternative. But some of the lesser knowns, if you want a great dupe that's actually better for Lorac Pro's Deep Purple, like I panned it, so I don't have it to show you, but a color that I actually prefer more than Lorac Pro's Deep Purple is the L'Oreal Infallible shade in Smoldering Plum. I can't show it to you because it's completely crumbled. But this shade is everything that I wished Deep Purple was, because Deep Purple is so dark in the Lorac Pro palette that it almost comes off chalky and black. It's a little too intense. Whereas this one stays that very dark purple, but you can still see the undertone. So you can use it as a liner and you can use it as a shadow. So I highly recommend Smoldering Plum if you want something close, or if you love that shade and you finished it from your Lorac Pro palette like I have, it's a great alternative. Also too, if you are running out of cream shades in your palettes, like let's say you finish Lorac Pro's Cream or Lorac Mega Pro Cream, or you have creams in other palettes, a great alternative, pick up a pan of Wet n Wild's Brulee. I mean, seriously, drugstore prices, this is comparable to a lot of those cream shades that you can find in any of your palettes. I can't say enough good things about this. Mary with the Love Tart raves about this. She uses it in almost every one of her tutorials. It's good stuff for good reason, because it's just, it's smooth, it's buttery, it's creamy, and it dupes, if not, what's the word I'm looking for, outshines a lot of the higher end cream shadows. So I wanted to talk about that. Also too, if you like the shade Blackberry from the Too Faced Sugar Pop palette, it's this deeper purple shade right here on the corner. That's what it looks like. Here is a swatch. That is Blackberry. If you want a good drugstore alternative, go to Ulta. Pick up the shade Havana Nights. It's the same thing. Literally the same thing. So here's Havana Nights. Here's Blackberry. You have to apply a little bit more of the Havana Nights, but literally the same shade. Also too, if you don't have the Lorac Mega Pro palette, but you wanted some of those shades, if you liked the warm brown shade, what is it? Tawny? No, the Lorac Mega Pro 2. The Lorac Mega Pro 2. There's a really warm brown shade in there called Tawny. Go online and pick up the Jane eyeshadow in the matte formulation called Clay. I know they used to sell these at Ulta. They don't have them anymore, but get this shade called Clay. It looks like the Lorac Mega Pro 2 shade called Tawny. And then there's also, what is the other one I wrote down? Lorac Mega Pro's Brown. It's this shade right here in the Mega Pro palette. Right here. You can go to Ulta and pick up the NYX eyeshadow in the shade Underneath It All. It's the same thing as well. So there's Underneath It All. And then here's Brown. You actually have to apply a little bit more of the Lorac to get the intensity of Underneath It All. So those are some dupes I wanted to share with you that were a little bit different from things that you might have seen from some other videos, just to change it up a little bit. All right, question number 5 is by far my favorite of the tag and kind of gets you thinking about your own eyeshadow collection, and that is, what is the most underrated eyeshadow product that you have that you love to reach for? I chose my Lorac Mega Pro palette for 2 reasons. Number 1, I chose this. I think it's underrated because people are still upset, annoyed at the way the product release was handled, at the way the social media campaign was handled, and rightfully so. It could have been a whole lot better than it was. But also too, I think it's underrated, not just because of the palette it is, but because it's limited edition. And if you're new to watching YouTube videos, or even if you've been watching YouTube beauty videos for a while, there's like a taboo when it comes to limited edition products, that once you can't get them on the market anymore, you're not allowed to talk about them. And it's unfortunate, because when you spend the kind of money that we do on makeup and you're not allowed to talk about it, it stops the creative thinking process about those things, and you don't reach for them when people aren't talking about it necessarily, because you're moving on to the next product. And so it keeps us in that hamster wheel of moving on to the next thing, and then we always forget about these limited edition things. And so this palette, I'll show you. I mean, it's fantastic for neutrals and things, and it really is underrated, just because, I mean, I never hear anything about this anymore. And I know I'm not the only person that bought this. There were thousands of people that purchased this palette, and I never hear about it on YouTube. And even when I saw videos about it, it was just reviews and swatches. I never saw a whole lot of tutorials on it and things like that. And that happens so regularly, because it's just, we're constantly on to the next thing. So I guess I should say, like, limited edition things in general are just underrated, because they're so hyped up and then it just is dead. It's just dead. Like, you always see stuff for permanent products, but limited edition stuff, it's like talk, 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 and then dead silence. And then you never hear about them again after like the one favorites video. You know what I mean? So, all right, there's that. Okay, number 6 is your favorite single eyeshadow. My favorite color, I picked this up a few months ago. It is the NYX eyeshadow in the shade Mermaid. I mean, seriously, you can't go wrong with a shade like this. It's so girly and pretty, and it just says summertime. I mean, I've always loved a shade like this, like ever since I was a little girl. So when I saw it in eyeshadow form at Ulta, it had to be mine. Like, there was just no way. It had to be mine. Then number 7 is your favorite cream eyeshadow. This is like, I don't even know what number of pencil this is. For me, my favorite cream eyeshadow of all time is the NYX Jumbo Eyeshadow Pencil in Milk. As you can see, I finished this one today. I'm going to start my new one tomorrow morning when I do my makeup. But the NYX Jumbo Eyeshadow Pencil is phenomenal. I use this to brighten my eyes under my glasses. I use it in my inner corners and under my brow bone, and then I set it with whatever highlighting shade I'm going to use. It's awesome. Awesome stuff. Then number 8 is, what is your favorite neutral eyeshadow? Favorite neutral eyeshadow. If I'm going to pick a single, my favorite of all time is going to be the L'Oreal Infallible shade in Amber Rush. It's just a beautiful coppery shade, and who doesn't love an eyeshadow with their name on it? I mean, seriously. So there's Amber Rush right here. I mean, it's perfect in the summer. I love to wear it with a lip color like this. This is the Too Faced shade in Pink Chocolate, or Bite Beauty's Rhubarb. Then number 9 is your favorite colored eyeshadow. I'm going to assume this is like, in general, kind of tones you like to wear. I love purples. Purples are really kind of my go-to, like, they're neutrals, but at the same time you get a pop of color. And then number 10, your favorite eyeshadow palette ever, or best eyeshadow palette ever. I have panned now basically the Too Faced Romantic Eyes palette, the Urban Decay Naked palette. I'm just about done with the Lorac Pro palette. I've hit pretty decent pan in the Lorac Mega Pro. I can honestly say I don't have a favorite eyeshadow palette. The way I see it is, my favorite eyeshadow palette is whatever I'm currently working with, and it's because I'm the most comfortable with it. My favorite eyeshadow palette to look at is the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette, but when it comes to actually using a palette, I think that you don't really have a favorite eyeshadow palette, because to be honest with you, no matter what it is, you're gonna get bored with it at some point. And you're gonna go through highs and lows with no matter what you're using. So in my opinion, there is no such thing as a perfect eyeshadow palette. Even if you made the perfect Z palette with all of your favorite colors, in all honesty, you would get bored at some point. So I think as long as you have like a great selection of neutral colors and some pops of color, it'd be fine. And you know, as I pan palettes, you know, I really do truly love the palettes that I'm panning, like I said, because I'm comfortable with it. I know what my makeup's going to turn out like. I'm comfortable with the formula, and I like the texture, and I get used to it. And so, but like I said, there is no holy grail eyeshadow palette. And I honestly know that I can say that now that I have finished palettes. So that's about it. Yeah, I'm going to tag some people down below. So thank you for taking the time to watch this. Enjoy the rest of your day, and hope to be seeing you very, very soon. Catch you later.